everyone, it's Sharonda from Payroll Waits, and today we're going to be reviewing Good Girls Season 3, Episode 11, Synergy, the season finale. You guys, I was let down by this season finale. Now, just in their defense, production had to be in it early due to the COVID pandemic that's happening right now. So this was not intended to be the season finale of season 3, but this is going to get into why I have issues with filler episodes on network TV shows, and I will get into that a little bit later. But there's not a lot that happened. Really, the main things that happened are between Ruby and Beth. Annie really has no storyline this episode. She really had the storyline last episode. But we see that Ruby she's overworking at the nail salon day in and day out. And then she ends up having a client, which actually happens to be Agent Phoebe, who's running an investigation on her. And I was like, why are you giving her all these tips on how to look for fake money? I was just like, ma'am, you are incriminating yourself right now. I just don't understand. And so afterwards, the agent ends up taking her phone. So she loses her phone. And then her and Stan are beefing this episode because Stan finds the empty piggy bank. He finds out what happened with her buying the lady a car, which she trashed. I would have never bought that lady a car in the first place. And he's upset because she didn't even talk to him beforehand to give him the opportunity to say how he felt about it. And so they got like big mad. And when I say he told her that I want you to be the woman I marry, I said, wow. Then he said, you gonna pay me back. I said, how you gonna pay them back the money that y'all supposed to be using together? But I was just like, okay. And then she was looking like, okay. So she ends up bringing him lunch. He's still mad at her. And she ends up getting this idea when she sees Stan with this money that they're going to rob Stan. So they're trying to get the money to help Beth get money for this like little spa place. Because they don't call it hot tubs. They call it spas. So they're trying to figure out the money on how to start the business. Because this is the way that they can clean the money that Rio wants them to do. So she comes up with this whole plan. And they actually end up robbing Stan. He didn't know it at first, what was actually happening. It was actually a good idea. Then she used Beth using the kids' science fair project to burn the money up in the car. But they come up with this whole plan in order to switch out the bags where Annie will give him the fake money and then they will give him the real money. And so Ruby brings this whole like pot roast thing. She apologized to him. They seem like they're going to go back and just be in a good place with one another. And then she ends up having to tell Stan why he can't go outside. And then he just kind of looked at her like, wow, bruh, like this what we doing? Like this really what we doing now? So afterwards, she ends up paying him the money back. But when she said, like, maybe you can be Paul Bart and save the day, I was like, wow, like, we really digging deep in this episode. But Ruby and Stan, they end up making up, and she replenishes the money for him, and they kind of have it all out, and then he offers her the ring again. He apologizes to her, and then everything is, like, all good and well, and then, like, they're just back, just like that. The whole episode had, like, conflict and then came back together. But the biggest thing was between Beth. And so her didn't go to talk to Gail, which is the lady who owned the hot tub spa store. And the conversation between them, like Gail was not selling it. But when Gail said maybe he should look somewhere else, and Beth said, why, you did it? I was like, whoa, so we getting real juicy now. So Beth was basically calling her out for kissing her husband and trying to come on to him. And then she basically let her know, like, I know what's going on, okay? Like, you're not telling me nothing new. But we see that she is a meeting with Rio, and he starts asking her questions about the business. She talk about, like, yeah, like, we're almost operational. I'm like, Beth, why do you keep lying to this man? So then he tells her, like, you're going to wash all the money. Like, you're going to wash the money, make the money, everything. And she's like, so you just expect me to do everything? He was like, that's called synergy. And I was like, oh, okay. But like, that's not good for her. You could tell that Beth is really over him and she can't wait for old dude to take him out. But I was just like, Beth, you be bringing half of this stuff on yourself because you always lying to him for no reason and he be knowing you lying. So we see that she goes back to Gail and she basically tries to get her to sell again. And when Gail told her, like, you're taking this whole standing by your man to a new level. But then when Gail realizes, like, she's like, oh, honey, I wasn't the first, was I? I was like, dang. And then this had Beth feeling a certain type of way because she left. She goes home and asks Dean, like, you know, would you have slept with her? And so he started talking about, like, she has nice boobs, she has a nice butt, all this stuff. And I was just like, oh, my God, like, what type? I knew y'all marriage was dysfunctional, but I was like, you really just sit up here telling her all the things that you like about this lady because clearly you've thought about it. And so he was like, yeah, I would. And then she was like, thank you for your honesty. And then she just went back to washing dishes, and then he just went to help her. I'm pretty sure that their marriage is just at its end. They're only together because they ain't got no money in the first place. But we see that after she's meeting his Rio's little dude, I forgot his name. I'm so sorry, I forgot his name. But I know he's in Atlanta. He used to be like the security guy whenever I used to go clubbing back in the day. I'm happy to see him on the show though. And she asked him like, how did you steal my furniture? And so this girl ended up going to steal all of Gail's hot tubs, then offers her less than what they were offering her in the beginning of the episode. And then I was just like, wow, she really got her back. I was like, okay, Beth, go ahead and get you some self-respect. You still ain't got nothing being with Dean, but I mean, you got you a little something back for basically stealing all the stuff from Gail. And so they end up getting the spa place, and so then she tells Rio, she's walking him through the store, and then she asks him like, when does it get to be mine? He was like, yours? He was like, next time, empty the clip. Basically saying, you gonna have to kill me to get this. But she just like, challenge accepted. She didn't say that, but she was probably thinking it. But yeah, so the episode really ends up with the ladies having champagne on the bench, basically celebrating that they're playing work with Rob and Stan, getting the money to buy the spa place. And so then we see that Agent Phoebe runs up on them again, and then we see that she asks them like, what are they celebrating? And the episode basically goes off. And there wasn't really that much that happened in this week's episode. With the agents, the case almost got pulled apart because they were pulling them off. However, once she got her phone and realizes that all the women are probably doing this together, this actually bought them some extra time to continue their investigation. This is the problem that I have with filler episodes with network TV. When you have so many episodes in a season, there's bound to be a couple of filler episodes that really do nothing to really move the story along, which is kind of how I felt about last week's episode, outside of the whole thing with the hitman agreeing to go and kill Rio. But I just don't think that this was the right episode to follow up with after an episode like that. They referenced the hitman basically saying that he's still doing his prep work, and so he's still charging them extra money to go and do more investigating on Rio when is the most opportune time. But there's nothing really happened in this episode. Even with Ruby and Stan, they've been having the same argument all season long. They make up to break. We make up and break up. That's how I feel with Ruby and Stan. I feel like they really need to figure something else to do with their storyline as a whole, because it's just the same song and dance. It's really the same song and dance with everyone. Annie always be self-destructive, trying to sleep with somebody else's man. Beth making stupid decisions. Dean over here jealous, can't keep it in his pants. And then Rio and Beth has this amazing chemistry, but she's really just trying to have them killed at the same time. So I don't know what's going to happen with season 4 of Good Girls. I don't know if they're going to give them a season 4. I don't necessarily think that this has been renewed yet. But I really hope that I hope they always will get renewed. I just really hope that they figure out new storylines of what to do with Good Girls, because I think the writing this season has been kind of lazy as to what has been happening with the characters. It's really just been this never-ending cycle of Beth does something dumb that makes Rio mad, then Rio gives her another chance. It's just not realistic. I don't know if it's because Rio is such a loved character of the show and it's so dysfunctional that we love Rio so much, but I think they fight so hard to keep Rio there. But to be honest, in a real world, Beth would never have survived after trying to get him killed. Like, never would have lived to see another day. How he handled the agent, that's how he would have handled Beth. So I don't know what they can do with season 4 to really make things interesting. I don't know if ultimately they really do have to let either Rio die or someone else on the Good Girls side die. I don't know how this really has to work, but I do hope that they get renewed for a season 4. But with that renewal, I really do hope that there are some like new ideas that they bring to the table. I'm not even really, to be honest with you, I'm not feeling the agents either. And also too, what happened to Rio's baby mama? Like, are we not going to see her again? She just showed up for a couple of episodes and then she went away. I don't know. I just feel like there's a lot of loose ends that necessarily need to be tied up. And I do think we need some fresh blood in there, because right now what we have going on, I don't necessarily think it's something that can keep fans invested to keep watching. Really, at this point, like, I watch because of Rio. Like, when Rio leave, I'm leaving. I'm out. it is what it is. Like, I might give it a chance, like an episode or two afterwards, to see if my heart can really heal after losing my baby daddy. But I don't know. I'd be really interested to know what you guys think in the comment section below. Are you feeling this season of Good Girls? Like, do you love it? Do you hate it? Do you feel like they do need to bring some fresh ideas? Please let me know in the comment section below. But as always, my name is Sharonda from Pay Your Weight. If you like what you saw today, make sure you hit the like button, hit subscribe, share this video with your friends, and make sure you hit the notification bell. And I love you guys 3000. I'll see you soon.